the government minister in Ireland responsible for enterprise. So we have an Irish stand here at the World Mobile Congress, and we have 20 Irish companies who have world-class some hardware is applicable to the mobile telephone business. And the Irish Trade and Technology Board, Enterprise Ireland, sets up the stand, brings the companies to Spain, organises their itinerary, and matches them up with operators, purchasers, and endeavours to profile the very best of Irish technology in the mobile telephony area. It's a unique example of where the government supports new companies in Ireland and helps to grow Irish-owned companies on the international level. And Enterprise Ireland does that, and it has overseas offices. And we've just opened last year an office in São Paulo in Brazil. So there is an Irish government office there promoting Irish companies and Irish trade with Brazil. And also in Mexico City, we opened an office last month because we see the South American market as very, very important one. And we're very anxious that companies in the mobile area would bring their technology to the South American market. Some are there already, Nube, Aaron Technologies, Tango Telecoms, and indeed others. And we believe we can bring value to the market, that Irish companies have very good products in weather forecasting, security systems, in terms of understanding customer relationships and software that helps you to understand your customer base, payment solutions, and many, many other applications. So the Irish companies are very popular. The Irish stand is very busy here in Barcelona, and the companies are experiencing significant interest in their products. Well, fundamentally, investment in education was the essential foundation stone for our success today, and particularly a strong focus on scientific, technological and engineering education. Broadly speaking, we invested in primary and second level education and also in third level. We are now investing very heavily in research and development and in innovation, and we have a very exciting plan for the next 5 years to do that. Furthermore, over the last 30 years, Ireland would have attracted into the country significant foreign direct investment. So all of the big multinational companies like Intel, Microsoft, Hewlett-Packard, laterally Yahoo, Google, Amazon have operations in Ireland. And that had an impact on Irish businesses. It brought different approaches to the organisation of business. It opened up the whole area of technology to Irish people, so that we then began to see Irish people leaving the multinationals and forming their own companies, particularly in software. So that alongside the very strong multinational base we have in Ireland, in like Oracle and Microsoft and others, we have a very exciting cohort of Irish-owned software companies that are small to medium-sized, but nonetheless have very good niche products for different markets, for e-learning, for financial and banking, and also for mobile telephony. And so it takes time, but the fundamental, I think, advice I would give any country is to make sure that you continue to invest in education and in the skills of your people, and make sure also that if you bring in investment, that you take the best from that investment, not just in terms of the money and the jobs, but in terms of the way they organise, the way they structure their businesses, the entrepreneurial flair that they can generate among your own people, so that they then begin to get the self-confidence that we too can set up our own companies and sell them on the international marketplace. We didn't have an ideological hang-up about multinationals coming in. We felt it was good for the economy. It created jobs, brought investment in. We lowered our taxes to bring in foreign direct investment. our corporation tax rate now is 12.5%. That's for Irish-owned companies and for the multinationals. So our attitude was very positive, but also we were of the view that this was something that we could learn from as well. And many of the people who worked as managing directors of the Irish operations of multinationals for 10 years or whatever, many of them now head up their own companies in Ireland. They've seen how it happens on the international level. They've learned from the way the multinationals operate, and they've applied that to the domestic situation and started their own companies, and have also helped and advised other young people coming up. We also develop what we call partnerships, and we're doing this more now than ever before, between multinationals and small companies in Ireland and universities. We create research partnerships that some are industry-led, some are university-led, but they're partnerships between small and big and our education sector, with Ireland Inc. as the key issue. You should see it really as in a partnership way. Don't get too hung up about the ideology of the situation, because we're in a globalized world. You win and you lose in different situations. Ireland, for example, has to export 86% of everything it produces and makes. We're a small island, but yet we are probably in the top 5 software exporters in the world. Likewise in pharmaceuticals and in biopharmaceuticals, we are very, very strong. And we have built a very strong reputation with quite a significant concentration of multinational companies in pharmaceuticals, now in biopharma. And again, that's beginning to have a spin-off effect on our own domestic industry. That's a very good point. In Ireland, we've had a consensus on macroeconomic policy. So, by and large, the parties in the Parliament agree with some fundamentals. They agree with taxation fundamental. They agree with membership of the European Union, which has been very important to Ireland. I stress that our membership of the European Union gave us a bigger market. Fiscal rectitude, fiscal balance. All parties agree that we should stick to the European parameters about being in balance, or close to balance. In terms of inflation, again, agreement. So we agree on the fundamentals, and likewise on attracting in investment, agreed across all parties. But we don't see it as one or the other. We believe we can grow our own industrial base and grow Irish-owned companies as well as the multinationals. It's not either or. Both can happen together. And indeed, one of our challenges is, and we work on this quite a lot, is to feed off the multinational presence. Many Irish-owned companies were formed initially by supplying product into the multinationals. And then they got other contracts in Europe from the same multinationals because their products were so good, and likewise around the world. Then Irish personnel began to get promoted in multinational companies, into Europe, into America, and Asia. And so they become more worldly, more globalized in mentality, and to such an extent that today Ireland invests more abroad now than comes in. It's a dramatic change in 15 years, but quite a number of Irish people now are investing all over the world, and companies and so forth, in Sao Paulo and in Mexico City. And what those offices will do for companies in South America, if your companies are looking for a particular technology, Enterprise Ireland can showcase that technology to your companies. They can give your companies a shortcut to Irish technology, because Enterprise Ireland only works with the best in breed of Irish companies. They don't work with every company, obviously. Only the best in breed in technology, life sciences, and in internationally traded services. And Enterprise Ireland takes equity in some of our companies, so that if a Brazilian company or a Mexican company or a South American company is thinking of investing in an Irish company, how do they know it's a good company or a company of quality? Well, Enterprise Ireland will tell you,